this up a little bit so maybe it wasn't so bright, because it seemed like it's really bright, but... Can you see me okay?
Yeah, just put the camera down a little bit more because your chin is cut off. That's better. That's better.
There.
That's better. How many nights a week do you study all night?
5 days a week. So it's full time.
And then you're a caretaker, and then you have a little daughter, and then you paint.
Yeah. Yeah. But I can't stop. You know, like, people will tell me, oh, Colleen, I think you're doing a little bit too much. But it's so, it's just so, I'm so passionate about all of it. And I want to do so much with all of it that I just,
if you love what you're doing,
if someone tells me.
If you love what you're doing, apparently the human body, certainly when we're not growing anymore, only needs like 4 hours sleep a night or day by your...
Yeah, I find that out. I know, you know, I've heard some really neat things about Einstein and how he used to kind of collapse his...
A lot of geniuses are like that. It's their passion. It's the air they breathe, you know, and sleep is just, you know, so, yeah.
That's right.
They say, you know, if you want something done, ask a busy person. God love you.
Oh, I couldn't wait to talk to you. It's just, things go on, and you have such beautiful insight, and it's just so nice to listen to your voice, and so nice to hear what you have to say, and I've just got, I just want to share so much with you. You know, like, you're so real to me. I think it's just because we're both friends of Bill, too.
It's not just that. It's not just that. I think there's that's part of it, but there's a generation of us that have gone to the edge and lost everything.
Yeah.
And you come back with a certain freedom. You're like, nothing matters. Nothing is crucial. You know, everything is just is. So it's mutual. I count you as a friend. I do. And I make instant friends. I either click with somebody and make instant friends and want to know everything about them, or else it's another acquaintance, you know, another out of thousands of acquaintances. It's cyberspace today, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm getting amazed because you know how on Facebook you get just a couple of friends daily that show up? I'm getting a bunch all of a sudden.
A bunch of what?
I guess that's good because we've got a lot more audience that are listening. My Facebook's mainly for business. You know, I do mostly business on there. I put a little bit of my personal life just because I'm like that.
Yeah, I find it too hard to separate everything. I think, especially with having in the past DID, if I have to wear too many hats, I have a meltdown.
Yeah, I can't do it. I cannot be anyone else but me. That's it, period. No matter who I am, if I'm supposed to be business Colleen or what, you know, I used to have so much trouble with that because people, bless their hearts, they try to tell you how to act and how to be and all this other kind of stuff, and it just, especially back in the 80s, that was terrible. You'd have to pretend that, well, I was told anyway, when I was struggling, to pretend that I was already somebody else when I wasn't, and then, you know how you're told to be, pretend that you're a rich person and then you'll get there. Like, fake it till you make it kind of thing. Screw that! Screw that! I am who I am right now, and all of these past experiences, all of these things that I've learned along the way, all of these tricks of the mind, so to speak, that I'm finding out are good advice from family members and good advice from friends that I have to go back on and say, I'm sorry, but it's just not me anymore. I'm different.
I went when was it? I can't remember what year. In the 80s, I went on a 5-day course in LA. Do you know the guy that played RoboCop?
I have to try and fix my hair. I didn't even look in the mirror before I called you. That's how vain I am.
I know, really, I give up.
I
I stayed in my Sunday best all day yesterday because I had like about 5 interviews scheduled. So I stayed in my Sunday best. I didn't go swimming, and then it all was like chaos. And I just thought I should have just gone swimming. If I was swimming, then I'm in my swimming mode. If I was, but I was going to say I did a course in LA in the 80s. Where you had to learn to present yourself, and you'd get critiqued. Like, you'd stand up at the front of maybe, I don't know, was it 50 people, and you'd give a presentation, and then they'd video it back, and they'd all tell you what was wrong with you, and like a better way to present and everything, and then you have to suck it up and then do better, and maybe in those days it was more appropriate, but in this day of the internet, I think people love real. It's why reality television is so popular, because if you make an illusion like celebrities, then when they have a bad day and they've got no makeup on and they messed up, it's just such a drama. I feel sorry for like Marilyn Monroe and all those icons, all those 40s Hollywood movie stars, because they weren't allowed a bad day.
Yes. I mean, picture being in their shoes for just a second, really. If you're walking down the street and you're just having a bad day, or you're in a moment, or whatever it is, and somebody comes up and feeds you a line from a movie from 1954 that you've heard 5,000 times, and you have to try and keep a straight face because your dog just died or whatever just happened in your life, and you really just want a normal conversation with somebody. You're just craving a normal conversation, like somebody to come up and say, why did you take that role? What kind of mindset were you in when you did this, like type of thing, or just an in-depth question instead of a, wow, you're so cool, like.
I think that Valley of the Dolls was so good, because the only way you can keep up a facade all the time is pill popping. Like pills to be up, pills to sleep, pills to be happy, pills to calm down. It's not the natural human condition. We are human.
No, we are. We all are. And I think we need to really dig down and treat each other that way. Like we have.
And if you share your bad day or your bad hair day or whatever, it allows other people to.
Oh, I'll share my nose picking, I'll share everything, I don't care, it just, I really do, I mean, so many people are, we're going through so much right now. I mean, we're waking up to a reality that, I had no idea some of the things that were going on out there. And there's a lot of people out there that are living in this real normal lifestyle, this box, and, to have to rattle their box is going to be really disturbing.
Yeah, it's like it's like a kind of a global state of trauma, and it's kind of like la 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 don't, because what can you do when you fight? It's like you can't unsee. I had this funny thing. I don't know if I told you, but I went snorkeling with the boys. And I saw everything that was in the ocean where I was swimming, and it scared me, and I wish I never saw them, because I love swimming in the ocean, but now I'm thinking there's crabs, there's shoals of fish, there could be, and it's like, scary, but you can't unsee. So now I think every time I swim in the ocean, I have to take some goggles, because at least I can see who I'm sharing the ocean with. And the last time I swam, I thought something whooshed past me, and I'm out there, and I pray while I'm swimming. I just pray out loud while I'm swimming, and something whooshed past me, and I went, ah! And there's all these people on the beach thinking, what is that crazy person screaming?
There's fish in here!
I was so annoyed. I was sitting on the beach saying to myself,
Oh man.
I was saying to myself, God gave us dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air, so I will just take authority over those fish and tell them you can swim. I'm going to share your ocean, but just don't touch me. No, because I'm sure I've had a lot of water trauma. I know I have. I've had a lot of near drowning.
Yeah.
But it's like if you were in a, you know, I don't know, ignorance is bliss. The point I'm trying to make is when you don't know how messed up everything is, you can kind of watch the soaps and go to a party and do, you know, decorate your kitchen and stuff. You can do that because you're not aware of everything. So it's a conundrum. It's a conundrum.
It is. It is. I think
So
there's enough of us that are aware, though.
but it's more and more. It is more and more. It is more and more. That's the truth. Did you get time? And I don't want to heap more jobs on you, but you had said to some people that had expressed support that you would try and put together a launch blog or something, or a launch piece of writing, or
Yes. Yes, and I was starting to try and come up with something with my neighbor Jack last night, because that's why I want like a permanent recording in here, because when I go up and start talking to him, we start saying things, and like I wish I could just push record sometimes, because
I know.
things that come out are like, oh, that's so profound.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that talk that we had about inspiration and how it just kind of comes zooming in, and I heard one of the most beautiful illustrations about that from a writer that and I forget her name, but she said she would stand in a field, so you kind of picture this open field, and if the words were coming across the landscape, it was like a thunder was rolling across the land, and she had to stop whatever she was doing and run like hell back to the house to grab a pen, and if she didn't quite make it, she could flip the pen up in the air and grab the words by the tail end of what they were saying, and she'd have to whoop them back, and then she could write it down, but sometimes it would come out backwards, like she'd have to write the story backwards. But you understand what I mean by that, right? When you just remember just the tail end of what you were thinking, and you have to go back and go, okay, now there's the tail. You write it down. Okay. Oh yeah, that's what happened. Oh yeah, and then that's what happened. And then you go back into the story and you figure it out, and you go, whoa. And it's sort of like what happens with my art right now. Like when I'll go back into a piece and I'll see different parts of it and go, holy crap, that has everything to do with what's going on. It'll have some sort of an in-depth message into an insight, if you will.
I get scared of that, because in the cycle of my day, I do get those inspirational waves. It's like a wave coming in, and then I think, right, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and it's really exciting, and it's really risk taking, and it's really passionate, and it's really dangerous, and it's really inspired. But then if I act on it, it's almost like then I have to clean up the mess later. It's like then people get mad at me, and then it's like, you shouldn't have done that, and look what you've done, and are you crazy, and like, so I sometimes I embrace it, and other times I'm like, tell myself to be quiet, you know, stop it, don't be silly, of course you can't do that, you know? So,
oh yeah, it's hard.
It's a good measure. I like to think, well, you know what, if we lived like today's the last day, then we would, you know, I think we need to be more fearless. You know, people get mad at you, so what? If you're following your heart and your passion and your motive, and you're you know, then, so what if people get mad at you?
Yeah.
You won't die. You know, people do get mad. People get mad.
I don't care if they get mad at me.
You might die, but people get mad at pioneers, because if you're rocking the boat and you're stretching people's reality, of course they're going to get mad.
Yes, but the trick is to really understand why they're mad. You know, like if they do get mad, because what happened with me, I wrote to my family because I was upset, and I turned it around on them and made them sound like they were after my art for money.
Oh, okay. Well, are you sure you did that?
Well, in a way. I mean, I think I was feeling that way. This is the way that I was feeling, because I was feeling constricted, because they were always telling me, we can't wait until you make it big, you know, like, and we'll, you know, you can help mom retire and things like that. That, you know, like, these are things every kid dreams of doing, because especially when their parents are, my parents were really great, you know, like they did the best they could. We were not we were never abused. We were really well taken care of and loved, and so I would love to give both my parents just an amazing life. But
I do know what you're saying, and I know as well. I used to boast to my family, like, oh, I'll get you a box in Covent Garden, and you know, I'll look after you and stuff like that. But I think the bottom line is, it's supposed to be a parent's privilege to help their children.
Yeah.
You know, it is. It's supposed to be what they love to do. I don't think. I know what you're saying. I do, but we can only do the best we can.
Yes.
We can only do the best we can.
But I tend to take things too far, and you know, like this is part of my journey that I had to do to understand myself, because I am a super sensitive person. I mean, when we went to the premiere for the Sensitive film, and so we were surrounded by all the, you know, the writer of the book, the maker of the movies. We were just surrounded by sensitives, and we all had this really amazing kinship, because we were very sensitive towards certain aspects of life, which just means that we take things with great empathy. We'll really think about things and really take other people's feelings into account. So
I call it walking around with no skin on.
Yeah, it's a lot like that. It feels like that.
Yeah.
So, but you have to be really courageous. People think you're shy, you know, but you're actually very courageous, because you're stepping into the situation quietly, in a way that you're seeing everything from all sides, and you're weighing out the situation, so that when I made my family mad by saying I feel under pressure, I forget how exactly I worded the letter, but I was up all night long. I was ready to take a drink. I didn't want to take a drink. I had some, you know, I was just, you know. So
I need to hold you there a second, because I need to disconnect something. You didn't make them mad. They got mad.
They got mad. Yes. They got mad.
You said something, and they perceived it a certain way and got mad. They're not necessarily connected. You didn't make them mad.
No.
Do you get that? Yeah. It's like they're responsible for their, reaction.
Yeah. But I could see where they were coming from once they reacted. Then I thought, oh, I see exactly what I said. You know, whoops, I said that the wrong way.
Okay, I'm not a guru by any means, but you know something that oversensitive people do? We blame ourselves for everything. So my daughter explained it so perfectly. She said, if I make something my fault, this is my daughter talking, then because I'm in control of that, I can fix it. And it's like when children's parents get divorced, they convince themselves that daddy left because they were naughty or bold or not lovable or something. And if we're still stuck in a child mode, as adults, we internalize everything. Oh, I see what I did wrong. You know, and it can be too much. It's great to be accountable, but if we have been raised where we find the best way to cope with stuff is to internalize it and say, well, that's my fault, so I can fix it. Sometimes it's not your fault. It's almost like too much. We have a default of self-blame sometimes, and so it's like self-loathing. I think self-loathing is an epidemic of our times. So I'm not trying to let you off the hook, but I think it's perfectly reasonable for you to say, I feel pressurized by the debt I owe you and the time I'm taking to pay it back.
Yes.
You know, that's a reasonable thing to say. And if they say, oh, that's upset us, or now you're making out it's our fault, or blah, 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 they have to process whatever they've got to process. You're just expressing your truth. Anyway, sorry to rant, but you see what I'm saying?
No, it's okay, but I had to sort of step back and let them take that breath, because I upset the apple cart because they were doing fine. They were. I had to come in there and throw a left hook right before I was going to have my very first ever, never housewarming party. I've never had a house, so I've never had a housewarming party. So I was going to have a housewarming party, and then I invited my whole family, and I screwed up.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just joking around about it. I mean, of course I can replan it, and everything's going to be fine, but, I do this all the time. Scandinavian blood, baby. Along with a little bit of Irish in there. Thank you very much.
Well.
Oh, man. So we live and learn. But, I mean, there's just so much that we're learning, just in my physics class alone, about where we're going with our physicality, our life, our, this is it. This is the big kahuna. You know, like I'm in full faith that this is what we're going through. If you know what I mean. I never want to call it like the end times. That's so horrible to say. It's the beginning. This is a start. This is a fresh look.
I don't know everything by a long shot, and I'm learning stuff every day. But I think people are desperately in denial about the fact that we are in the end times. It's not the end of time. It's the end of an age.
It is the end of time.
Yeah, it's the end of an age. But I think there's a deception where people are thinking if we just do ABC, we can fix this. And the truth is, we have to go through the eye of the needle. There's not going to be an alternative. People are going to have to choose very clearly. Of course, it's amazing. If there's another decade on this planet, then of course we should all do our best every day, you know. But at the same time, I think it's a self-delusion to tell ourselves that if we just discover the latest revelation, or if we just all love each other, or if we just co-consciously meditate together, we are coming to a tumultuous. There's going to be another war. There's going to be 2/3 of the planet die. There is, you know, and there's going to be Armageddon. I do believe that with all my heart. Now that's not to scare people, because we know the secret that time is an illusion and we've got eternity, but this living experience, we are going to get to choose. And when this living experience ends, and I believe we've got about maximum a decade in this paradigm, then we go into eternity, and without scaring anybody, but it's going to be time to choose. We have to choose. It's time to, it's like today is the day to wake up. So I love it when people get visionary and excited, and it's a very thin line. You can get visionary excited, but don't delude yourself that there's a way around what we're coming into.
Yeah, you have to live like you're going to live 10 million years and one day all at the same time. I mean, you know, like you have to realize that you're in the moment.
Yeah, that's all we've got. That's all we've got.
Yeah, that is all we've got.
Yeah.
But, like, I plan for the next million years. I have sculptures that I see, you know, like that I'm going, oh, I'm so doing that, you know. I don't know if I'll have hands up there. You know, I don't know what's going to go on as far as that goes, but I know that
we're
I
coming
have
back.
my heart.
We're coming back. This is what I believe, right? People can laugh at me, but this is what I believe. There's going to be 7 years of total chaos, and then there's going to be Armageddon, and then the earth is going to be renewed, and no more sickness, no more sorrow, no more dying, no more war. And then for 1,000 years, we're going to paint, and we're going to dance, and we're going to sing, and we're going to love, and we're going to play. That is coming. Definitely. I totally believe that. For a millennium, I believe in the millennial reign, you know, and I believe in eternity. It's just, there's a little bit of a roller coaster between now and when we start that 1,000 years.
Yeah. Yeah, there will be a little bit of a roller coaster. I don't know. I think that there's so many people coming up with so many different great ideas. I know my university has a full-on, if you learn just a little bit of their technology, just a tiny little bit, which is what I'm trying to get things together to be able to do a little bit of that teaching as well. But I think I may have too much on my plate if I go that route. So it may be a combo, you know, like I may be doing painting art and doing plasma classes all at the same time type of thing, where I'm going to go in.
How are you doing with your copper pens, your healing pens? Oh, where's my bracelet?
Yeah, I've got. I don't know where there's one. I gave them all away so far.
I've seen the video, but how are you doing with getting them into production?
Oh, I just make them as I go. I mean, I'll sit here and make them during class if it's a really heavy line of teaching, because the pens I can make without having to think a lot, and as long as I'm putting good intention in there, and classes always.
So that's done and dusted. You've got the prototype for that. You're making those.
Oh yeah, I can make them I mean, all I have to do is wind some copper wire and basically have it. I mean, you can do it artistically. You can do all kinds of things.
I bought this. It's nowhere near as nice, but this is a magnetic bracelet. And somebody, I don't know if it makes any difference, but so I just bought a magnetic bracelet, and the guy was so cute. He made it match my ring. I was just like, oh, give me a magnetic bracelet. I don't care what it looks like. And he's like, no, wait, I've got the right one. And he's like, and I was talking to him. Anyway, that's beside the point. I got distracted there. Okay, so you've already got those.
You bring up a very good point. You bring up a really, really good point, one that I think that people really need to know. This is something that goes into what I've done with my art my entire life. Because this is something that we're learning in physics class, something that we've known all of our existence, but really never paid too much attention to, that thing called intention or prayer. When that guy was making your bracelet, it may have just been a normal bracelet to begin with, but when he started to care and want to put a little bit of care into it, let me make it the same color as your ring, let me do this, let me do that.
Oh, sweet.
Yes, but that intention was an intention of love and sweetness and caring. So that bracelet has that.
Yeah.
It has that in that from another human being. Okay?
Yeah.
It's directed
to. Ridiculous. It was ridiculous how much he cared. Like it was just, it was lovely.
You've actually got something there that is a lot like what it is. Exactly. The system that we're working with.
Brilliant.
So,
Brilliant.
Yeah. This is what we use. We use our intention. We use the elements of the earth, and then we use it and we put it into in the in the state that I nano can be such a good and bad word nowadays. I mean, in some ways it's bad, in some ways it's good. It just means really small, from what I understand.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't know what it means.
It's really small. Okay.
Nano, I don't know what it means.
Nano, I don't know what the heck, but this is the good nanos. But they're it reduces it down, and then it allows for a faster track, a better path. So it's a better conductor. And since we are energy, It creates a better conductor so that our bodies can take in what we need. It creates a magnetic gravitational system like what's on your wrist right there, and that will draw the energy that you need and also extract what you don't need. So it helps with everything we need. I mean, yeah, you can get the vitamins that you need from this.
Yeah.
And they've proven this in all fashions, with monks that don't eat for a number of years or whatever it is. You know, there's videos out there about that. But,
I'm trying to be open-minded because I know that there's so much I don't know, and I don't. There's no need to be afraid of it, you know. And I think we should all be just expressing our best selves. Right, carry on. Sorry, I interrupted you again.
Oh no, it's okay. No, but what I was thinking about, I think I was talking to my friend Jack about this, but with this beautiful power of intention that we do when we create things, especially when we make things for other people, I'm finding great restitute, I think, in that. Because it's a restitute. Is that the right word for it? I don't know what I'm saying. It's the I know I did the right stuff. I feel really good about everything I've ever made. Because I know that no matter what, I worked it out. You know, like there were evil things that I went through in life and some really, really dark times, but I worked all those out on paper, so to speak, or in bronze, in a way that brought me through to a really higher path. So,
I want to share. Can I share something with you? Like, I might be considered a heretic, but I don't care.
No, as
long as God doesn't think I'm a heretic, right? Because you know, and this is just philosophizing, but it's important because I'm mixing with people that got sort of different paradigms than me, and they know more than me in different areas. And the thing, I have a theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
So God is a creator. So we're His children, made in His image. Of course, we're supposed to create. Of course we're supposed to create, right? Because He's our Father, and He's a creator. So I believe that each of the archangels had an amazing gift. I might have said this to you already, but then when a third of them came down to earth with Lucifer because they rebelled, God is not an Indian giver, so He didn't take those gifts back off them. So, for instance, you know, astrology, physics, you know, time travel, computers, technology. He didn't say, you've upset me now, give me back those gifts that I was out for mankind. And then people started trading and paying for them. So, like, you get all these stories of aliens coming, and they say, you know, if you let me just abduct some people, I'll give you the secret of airplane flight, for instance, or whatever. So you get these governments making crazy deals with fallen angels and their minions saying, okay, yeah, you can abduct 1 million people and we'll turn a blind eye, or whatever, right? And I think that we should hate the sin, but hate the sin, love the sinner. So I think those gifts were intended for us by God, and we don't have to do a deal with the devil to get them. We just have to appropriate them for good.
Right. Yeah.
So we can. This is now. Some might not agree with me, but when people say, "Oh, stay away from astrology and stay away from this and stay away from that," you get all these scared Christians that don't want knowledge.
Yes.
They're scared of being polluted by knowledge.
Sad.
And it's and just I might be wrong, but my theory is no. Those gifts were intended for humanity. I'm sorry that the person that was bringing them fell, you know, and I'm not going to do a deal with him, and I'm not, but it's like the guy that split the atom was so devastated when he realized that it wasn't going to be used for good.
Oh man, yeah, that would hurt.
So anyway, that's just my theory. So, and it may be heretical, I don't know.
I think that's exactly what we need. You know, it's almost like a comic relief. Like, oops, I did a bad thing. I'm really sorry. We need to fix it now. Just, like the whole thing, if you keep going up the ladder, if you really keep going back and back and back and back, it all goes back to the big shebang. It's not a Big Bang theory anymore. They've disproved that it was any kind of bang. It was a lot more of a whoosh, which to me indicates more of like, imagine being all alone. Imagine being all alone for a really long freaking time. Like, time didn't exist, obviously, but there's just this feeling. I mean, we were all once a part of this being that is the beginning, right? We were all there because we are a part of God. God made us as in His image, or her image, or however it goes. But this image is tapped into us, and so way back in the very beginning, that loneliness and that hurt and that pain of feeling like, is there anything else out there? Is this anything at all? And that feeling also went into the love burst of energy that finally said, I cannot be alone anymore. And it's
we can agree to differ on some stuff. I don't think we evolved from apes.
This is just a theory.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't think we evolved from apes, and I don't think we exploded into being. I think we were created. I do. I believe that. I don't care. It's fine. That's just what I believe. And I think science just catches up with the truth. Science is brilliant. It wrestles with and catches up with, and then it's like, 5 decades later, they're like, shit, we got it wrong. Like Darwin.
Yes.
Wrong, so.
Yeah, forgive me for
I'm not afraid. I'm not going to be afraid.
Yeah, forgive me for the whoosh Big Bang thing, because when I'm
you don't need forgiving. You don't need forgiving. You're loved.
Yeah, but let me explain the way that I see it, because I also see this as a creation. Like, I just see way back. Like, way back to the very, 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 very beginning when there was nothing. And God just was. And all of a sudden had to be, or had to expand, had to grow, had to understand that maybe I don't have to be alone anymore.
Yeah.
So,
be alone. It's not good for man to be alone, or woman. Not good being alone, is it?
No, it's not. No, we have so much to share, and we've gone on to live so many different lives. Oh my gosh. Like, every time I hear another life story, it just blows my mind, the stuff that you can learn from everyone, every single person. It's why I cannot treat anybody different. If I meet a super rich person, as long as I get past the initial, are you going to like me for who I am, or are you going to tease me for picking my nose, or what are you going to do, as long as I can get past that first awkward moment, I usually I sink right back into myself, and either they like me or they don't, and I usually find a really good, I have so many good friends. Have
you read Moby Dick?
I haven't read it. I have not read it. I want to read it. I think I've listened to the audio, but.
They were on this big whaling ship. They were in the ocean, and they were on this big whaling ship. And this little deckhand called Pip fell overboard. And he was overboard for, I don't know, was it 10 days or something? He didn't die. But the vast aloneness of being cast out at sea with no concept of rescue or life or death or shorelines or everything, it blew his mind. He never spoke again. And to me, that was so profound. That was just like, if mankind is totally cast adrift, I can understand that. I could totally get it that he never spoke again, because it's almost just like he had no context. He had no reality. It was too vast.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of aloneness. It's not a natural state for humans to be in.
No.
And the internet promotes that aloneness, because a lot of people, they've superficially dealt with loneliness by interacting like we are now, But then when the internet goes down, their life ends, you know?
Yeah. Well, I actually think that this interaction is a little more in-depth and personal. This guy.
It is, but you're not here. It's like I used to say, I know you love me, God, but can you, like, I want arms and legs. Like, I need a hug. Do you know, that kind of thing? There's love, and then there's love, you know?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I definitely do.
I don't know why we're philosophizing at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning.
I need to get taking a couple of notes about. Can you help me out with this a little bit?
Yeah.
I just need to kind of get because what I plan to do is I want to just get on there. I'm not really going to write much down. I don't like to do.
Where is there? Do you mean your Facebook or your website?
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a video on Facebook and YouTube. Both.
Okay. And does this work, or you're going to do one on your own?
Well, we'll see if this. Well, I have to do one on my own because it'll just be a short video.
Maybe you wanted some makeup on.
Yeah, let me explain to you what I'm going to do.
Just got to do this, right? It's like, okay. Hi, my name's Colleen, and I want to change the world.
Hello.
I'm just laughing at myself.
We'll get the time.
You're going to do a professional video.
No, that one won't be professional either. That's the thing. I'm not going to make him professional. I don't want to.
I want to get a bit more professional.
Well, you know, a little bit, yes.
Just a little bit, because like I'm really pissed off that my volume is shit on a lot of my.
Oh yeah,
I want to get proper internet in the house and get a microphone, but most of all, I want somebody to just do the tech stuff for me because I don't like it. And there's only so many hours in the day. Seriously, there's only so many hours in the day.
Oh man, yeah, I hear you.
Anyway, so you're gonna. I interrupted you. So you're gonna make a video and you're gonna write something as well, or you're gonna do both.
Well, I'm just gonna take a couple notes because what I think is.
If there's anything you need to ask me, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, because I have a couple of questions right now. Because I'll think of them while I'm talking right here. I know I will. Because that's how it happens. Let me find a pen that works.
Just out of the bath, so I'm just going to get something to my hair.
So, what? Can you still hear me?
No, I'm here. Sorry for being rude.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. You get up and get coffee, whatever you need to do, everything. Just feel at home. But, okay, I'm just gonna emotionally express how I feel about each of you, like, what made me decide to give you a painting. So that's gonna be personal. Like, and that, I think, is just gonna be, that's just gonna be off the top of my head. But what I need are just basic introductions. Like, people who have never met you or heard of you before. What do each of you do? What's a quick blurb that I can just say, okay, Angela Power Disney.
I'm an online journalist.
Okay.
Independent journalist.
Okay.
And a campaigner for children.
Yes.
Campaigner for children's rights.
Okay. And now, I'll probably want to say something about some trauma that you have been through.
Oh, yeah.
As a side, it will not be like a big thing.
It's all out there on the internet. I'm an MK Ultra survivor. That's a horrible term, but I'm an MK Ultra survivor, child abuse survivor, and, you know, fairly far on with my healing journey, but it never ends, and just turning around to help others that maybe are not on that on that journey of healing. It's like, if you're healing something, turn and tell your brothers, heal them, same as Bill W.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
figure something out, you share it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I love you so much for doing this. I have cried so many tears over you. Just love tears, like just pure tears of joy. Just knowing that you exist for all the kids out there. I'm gonna cry just saying it because I'm behind you.
Thank you.
100%.
I tend to minimize. Well, I'm not going to edit myself, but I do tend to minimize people. People like telling me, "Oh, you should do this and you should do that and you could do the other better." But aside, a bit like you, aside from doing, campaigning for the Hampstead children for a year plus, and going to rallies and helping with court cases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Aside from that, like, if I just went through the last 2 years of trauma, my sister died at 58 in suspicious circumstances. My son wrote my car off. My house got burgled. I had 2 major surgeries. I was told I had end-stage ovarian cancer. I had 14 inches of bowel removed. I had catastrophic surgery. I have a complaint with the health board in Ireland. I have a complaint with the judiciary over my sister's inquest. Most of my family have cut me off. My daughter was parasuicidal over the weekend. My tenants left. The council, I get a lot of begrudgery where people want to pull me down a peg or two and put me in my place and stuff. And at 58, I've only been married. I was married and engaged for a decade. So that's 48 years. And then if you take, I didn't leave home until I was 18. So 30 years of my life, I've been on my own. This is what we were talking about. It's not a natural state of being. And I'm still here. So I just wanted to balance it because I don't want anybody to idolize me. And sometimes when people get mad at me, because like I had 5 interviews scheduled yesterday and not one of them happened. And I think, but sorry, I was just flat on my back. I was just like,
you have to be flat on the back.
Swimming in trauma and so I'm not trying to say, oh, look, I've learned everything, let me teach you to anybody. I'm saying I'm on the journey and if I can help, it's the exact same principle as Bill W. If there's anything I know that will help you, I'll share it. If there's anything you know that will help me, I'm listening, that's all.
Yeah. So, yeah. Let me ask you. Okay, I've got you down, I think.
You got me in a box. How many?
Now, Christine.
Yeah.
Got my story about her and how I think one of the biggest thing that just impressed me about her was just her MK Ultra story too, which she's been through.
And she's very brave. The only thing I'm not through it well. I'm going to pray very hard. She's due to interview Michael Aquino soon, and I've just been listening, to a mother testifying about what Michael Aquino and his wife did to her children in the daycare in the Presidio. So she's brave. She goes where angels fear to tread. She will. That's a common thread is courage.
Yes, she is so tough. I love it. She does. She gets right up into the front line.
At the same time, she's single parenting a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, and like struggling to pay the bills. And there's that mix of vulnerable and warrior.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I think the men don't do their job. The men are, if they're going to create a baby, they're supposed to provide and protect, even if it's not ideal in a married thing. They're supposed to say, you're doing the nurturing and the empowering and the practical stuff. Let me take care of business, let me not have you stay awake at night worrying about shoes and food and bills, Anyway, yeah, no, I don't know. I've never met her. And she's very courageous sharing her MK Ultra story as she goes. And I'm doing the same with my court case. Because that's the other thing. I reported my father after 50 years. And there's a whole court case going on with that. It's a live investigation going on with that. That's very traumatizing. And but no, she's a gutsy lady. She's a gutsy lady, and she's very deserving she's very deserving of some support.
Yeah, and now she's been a journalist for her entire life. Is that what?
She would
pretty much.
First of all, she was First of all, she worked for like private investigators, which was kind of a front shop for spying. It was like, I don't know if they call it MI5 in England but MI5, they kind of subcontract work out to investigators. And so then your job might just be to catch some guy cheating on his wife. Or your job might be to find out if somebody's embezzling the company. So she started off doing that stuff, but because she wasn't aware of the MK Ultra programming, she had that sixth sense where she could just, because I can do it too, you just read people, you just get information, you just soak it up. You're programmed to download from people. Mm-hmm. And so because she had that, she didn't know what it was. The newspapers wanted her, so they paid her big bucks because she could get a story where nobody else could.
Wow.
She was kind of like a monarch. She would go to Ireland and have an affair with the leader of the rebels.
Wow.
Yeah. Because she didn't consciously know she was being programmed to download everything he knew. See, we're like innocent children. If we don't know that we're placed somewhere, we're just full of love, and we love, and people trust us, and they tell us shit. What we don't know is it's being harvested from us. Information is being harvested from us, and this was before even the internet and surveillance society. So she was riding a wave on Fleet Street where she was getting front page and 100,000 a year and unlimited expenses and being sent where nobody else could crack a story.
Yeah.
But then some bastard came in and stole her thunder because he figured out how to do it with technology. He figured out how to tap people's phones and do sneaky. What she was doing by intuition and gifting and programming, this guy figured out how to do it by nefarious means, which was to tap people's phones and everything. So once technology made her redundant, they got rid of her. And that's what started the whole hacking scandal. You may not know about it in America, but like once they figured out how to do what she was doing with technology, they thought, oh, we don't need investigative journalists anymore. We'll just spy on everybody. But then she blew the whistle on it. And so it was this big scandal in England. It was a cover-up in the end, but they hacked everybody. They hacked royalty. They hacked everybody. And they're doing that now. We shouldn't kid ourselves. They can do that now.
Oh, yeah. But it just, the whole thing, and this just throws up a lot of strange experiences for me just because of the places that I've been and the places and the things that I've done. And
she's still coming up. I mean, me too. I was ghostwriting for a princess, an American starlet that was a peer of Lucille Ball and Grace Kelly. I believe she used to work with Bob Hope, but she slept with Jack Kennedy. She slept with Bobby Kennedy. And I met her in Marbella. And what they did was they sent out these monarchs to Europe to marry into European aristocracy, so that they could get the information and keep Europe under surveillance. And I was ghostwriting her story for a book, and but then the family squashed it. But I didn't know that. I thought, well, I've just finished my degree. I just happened to be in Marbella, and she's just invited me to come and live with her and write her life story. I thought it was all random, but that's what Christine's waking up to as well. Because over and over and over, we find ourselves in the most explosive situations, and we don't know why we're there.
Right.
And you start... did I trigger you? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding, like...
I know.
Because I've been in situations that... Just life situations, and I don't know if it really has anything to do with anything. I mean, they're just... But it's strange the people that I do know and that I can get in contact with.
Yeah, because
I have a pretty hefty list of
your ex-boyfriend. What does your ex-boyfriend do?
He's in Homeland Security. But he's pretty high up in Homeland Security. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know, you know, like it's strange. Strange connections, really strange world. And he's calling me now and we're talking. You know, we're just talking. I'm real careful, but at the same time I care a lot about him. It's really, I mean, I have a very strong connection with him. But I'm really guarded right now. And he can tell that, you know, so he's real guarded. Which, we both let down our guard right away when we start talking, but, yeah, but we end up not calling each other for a really long period of time, I think, you know, in that respect. I just get busy. I just get so freaking busy. I don't have time for a relationship.
That's my Achilles heel. I don't know how to be on guard. I don't like on guard, you know. But if you're like a lamb to the slaughter, if we just go around loving everybody and telling everybody everything, we just can be like, we can just be taken advantage of, you know?
Well, here's the thing that I'm learning, that I'm getting really strong with it. I found this new strength. It's really strange. I'm just totally truthing it. You know, like if somebody comes along like him, I really don't care who he is. Because to tell you the truth, Angie, I know I have backup because I've seen things up in the sky that I just normally have not seen my entire life. I've never seen these kind of lights show up. I've never seen a full-on spaceship light up right in front of my freaking face. And I know that these spaceships are totally benevolent because of the way that they respond and because of the questions that have been answered by them. I get the feeling that they are the angels or a faction of them. I don't even know. You know, like I don't know what they look like. All I see are tiny little pinpricks of light that spark real fast and real loud and real big whenever I need to feel, because sometimes I feel very alone in my quest. They just feel like
Me too.
I'm the only one out there that's doing this. You know,
Oh,
but
no.
I have to because it's in me and because I've realized that this is something that I've struggled with my entire life and that I cannot put a value on my art. Everyone else can do it. If somebody takes it out there and they decide, I'm going to sell this, I need $4, and I'm going to sell it for $4, they're going to sell it for $4. To me, it'll be worth $5 million, and it'd be real stupid of them to sell it for $4, but it's up to them. It's not my problem anymore. I don't deal with value on something that is my emotion. I mean, that's putting value on my emotion, on my intention. And my intention is going to live forever. And every time it hangs on somebody's wall or it pops up in somebody's existence, every time I think of that person, every time I do anything, art lives forever. No matter if it gets smashed, bottled, burned, this, whatever, it is still part of us.
I got it. Something just clicked with me. That was when I started really working freely on YouTube, was when I decided that I was going to express myself and how people responded was not my business.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, it's like blowing a balloon, letting it go.
Yeah.
Blowing a balloon, letting it go. And we're just responsible for truth and self-expression and being the best us.
Yes.
And it's not on us what happens next. We're just creating each moment to be our best us. The only thing I want to pray, I do believe you, because who am I to judge whether they're good angels confirming signs and wonders to you? It's none of my business. And you know what? God spoke through a donkey.
Yeah.
God spoke through a donkey. You know, angels turned up and said stuff. You know, like people were healed with spit and clay. You know, John the Baptist had like matted hair and he ate honey and stuff. So it's none of my business. I just pray as your friend that you only hear from God's side of the spirit world, or you can see the dark side, that they are not your muse, they are not your counsel nor your empowerment. I pray that you are empowered and have visions of and interact with God's angels, God himself, Jesus himself, the Holy Spirit, whatever way God wants to manifest that to you.
Yes.
Like one way he saved my daughter's life, I was going to have an abortion in California because I got pregnant, and that wasn't the plan. And I didn't trust anybody because I had been abused. I only loved my horse. So I had the abortion all scheduled in Marin County, and 2 nights before, God gave me a dream, and in the dream, my horse was on an altar in a Catholic church with a big cross behind it. And my mare, she was pregnant, and in the dream, somebody took a gun and they shot at her belly, and the baby foal just splattered everywhere on the altar, and it was awful. And I knew that God spoke to me the only way he knew that I'd listen, which was because I loved my horse. I didn't trust anybody. But because he showed me what I was about to do through the thing I loved, I didn't have the abortion, and that's my daughter, 29, and she has children now. So just wondering if, I think I left it behind, but I never told my daughter that. And then when she was 12, she came home from woodwork at school, and she had made her first piece, and it was a crucifix with a horse in front of it. And she just made that. And I said, that's the dream that saved your life. That's why you're here. You know? So it's like, I'm not judging you. I've got no reason to judge you. I know you're good. I know God adores you, and I know you're expressing yourself with no limitations. And I pray for you. I pray for you every day.
Oh, you too. Thank you so much. Yeah, because I've had those confrontations where people come up with the, like astrology's bad. This is bad. That's bad. This is bad.
I know, and I hear myself.
And it hurts. Because I thought, when is the day going to come that you're going to come up to my face and tell me that my art is bad?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry if I hurt you like that.
No, but that's the way that I felt. In church when I would hear all this crap about the astrology, whatever, and it just felt hypocritical to me.
Yeah.
Me and tell me that my art is coming from the wrong place, and I know better. I know freaking better. I mean, because I know, even through all of the things that have happened in my life, even through all the dark times, and there really has not been a lot. I mean, I've empathized more with the dark side than I have experienced it. I've experienced it, but not. We can't compare evils, I don't think. It's all bad for all of us to some degree, no matter what. That's what I've heard in AA anyway. But I forgot what I was getting to.
No devil came to you and said, if you make a contract with me, I'll give you the most inspired art gift the world's ever seen. You didn't sign a contract with the devil.
Well, that's where the contracts in general come in, don't they? Because we do sign something.
You haven't sold your soul. You haven't done a deal with the devil.
No, never. But when we're talking about contracts, any kind of contract, any kind of work contract, I'll work for $8 an hour at McDonald's. That means that is all that I'm worth for.
Yeah, I can see in your art where you had that agent in Vegas that knew that semi-nude, tastefully painted women would sell. You had to kind of adapt to that. You're like, okay, I'll do that, But I'm not talking about, that's not evil. That's just, you weighed up. What's the cost? What's the payoff? Yeah, I can live with that. Let's do it. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, like when Satan met Jesus in the wilderness and he said, worship me and I'll give you the whole world.
No, I had the opposite. I had an angel come and say, you better hold on to your purse strings because you're in for a bumpy ride, baby. And I thought, well, everything's fine right now. I was 24 years old, 27, I think. I was driving down the freeway. I looked up and I saw this. I just finished this job with a friend of mine, an artist friend of mine. who we were working on a Halloween set, and we were supposed to get paid for this setting up a haunted house deal, big haunted house deal. So we were a couple artists hired to do some weird stuff. So it was a lot of fun, and we had started on it. My friend had done more work than me, but the people that were in charge of this, it was found out real early that they had done this a couple of times and ran off with all the money without paying anyone. So they were getting busted before they took all of our talent. And Linda needed me to come by with my camera and take pictures. So we went over there and we took pictures. And when we were all done, we sat and we laughed about the whole thing. I left. I was about a year sober, I think, at the time. Just to add that in there, just so no one thinks that I was like, woo, you know. But, excuse me. Anyway, I left. Oh, I just swallowed down the wrong tube. I'm sorry. I left her house, and then we were, I was driving. I looked up in the windshield, in that little blue area. I had a little Chevy S10. I was coming under an underpass, and this little pinprick of light showed up. And it just went whoosh, like this, and this little spinning being went whoom, like this, and her arms went out like this. I'm trying to back up so you can kind of see me like this. Like her hands were stretched out like this, but she was looking like she was coming to give me a hug, and she just had this really super peaceful look on her face. And her eyes, oh yeah, okay, so I'm looking at, her eyes were kind of like this, and her hands were real stretched out. But she gave me this look, and when she did, I have to explain this, like she gave me an onion. Because I was fed this information, okay? And I knew it, but I wasn't able to see, I only saw the skin. Only saw the skin of this onion, so I'm given this, you know, like this thing, and this full of information thing that just went right into my gut, and I just went, oh, you know, and then I was alone, so I wanted someone to see this. So I said, God, can you see this? And all of a sudden, on the radio, it switched and it went, you know, and then it went, I can see clearly now, the rain is on. So I screamed just like that, and I started laughing. And I could swear that time stopped for that 1 second, because I kind of came to, and just exactly where I was, like 1 second ago was where I, you know, like time had stopped, in other words. And then I went under the bridge. And then I just started crying, got home, told my boyfriend. He didn't believe me and told me that it was another one of my artistic fairy dreams or something like that. I just, you know, whatever, Colleen, maybe you're having a flashback. You know, maybe. Woo! So I just thought, okay. But one of the main messages that she said was just that no matter what, you can never give up what your heart says. And I just thought, okay, that's fine, I'm doing it, you know what? I was really happy-go-lucky, whatever. And I had no idea that I was going to go through all this crap. So, yeah. Beautiful. Every time I think, and when we were supposed to go to do a mural that night, and when I got to where we were supposed to go do this mural, my friend was there who I was with that day. I told the story, and when I told the story, I looked over at her, and she was crying a little bit, and I thought, well, it wasn't that great of a story. I told it kind of funny, you know, like I saw this fairy. It's like a fairy, you know, she was bright and sparkly. So, my friend, I looked over at her, and she was pulling out her sketch pad, and she showed me her sketch pad, and she said, and I looked at it, and it was the same position of this person, and I thought, well, that was quick. Here, 10 minutes after I left, she looked over at her TV and had the exact same vision and the exact same message, more directed at her own message, but the exact same hang on to your reins, you know, like you're about to go for a really amazing ride. Yeah.
Strap your seatbelt. There's even theologians that debate and say that you're not hearing from God because there's no female angels in the Bible, and I'm like, okay. okay, I haven't seen a female angel personally, but like,
I did.
Really, yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, people get hung up on stuff that makes Jesus just go, would you ever quit? You know, would you stop? Like, everybody's got to work out their own salvation in fear and trembling. You called out to God, you wanted to share it with him. He sent you a message, I can see, I'm here. You're not imagining things. Like, I can't rip apart your experience and say, oh no, that's not backed up by the word or whatever. You know, like a donkey spoke. Shut up already. You know,
Really?
I tell you,
I know I said
angel. I've seen a real 22-foot angel once. I've been tapped before, but I've only actually seen an angel once. And I saw Jesus once, and I saw an angel once. And I was out by a lake camping in my camper RV, and I was really scared because, like, it's rural Ireland, and you know they think divorced women are fallen women, you know, and fair game and everything. Well, maybe that's in my head. But anyway, so I was having trouble sleeping. I was trying to write a book, you know, and I was having trouble sleeping. I was like, I'm going on retreat. I'm going to the lake for a week. I'm going to write my book. But I was having trouble sleeping because I was scared. And so I prayed, and I prayed to God, and I said, give me a manifestation of the Holy Spirit, God, please. And I kind of had it in my head fixed what I wanted him to show up like. Like I wanted my fingers to tingle, or I wanted to fall down, or I wanted to get healed again. I've had some amazing, miraculous healings, but and none of those things happened. And I was like, oh, I wanted some, like, you know, what do you call it, like big flashes like that. I wanted some, you know, some exciting stuff. But God knew that the thing that was stopping my creativity was fear. And so I said my prayer and I waited, and it didn't manifest how I thought it should. And then I just looked out the camper window and OMG. So I'm in this like 16-acre field on my own. I don't know if you'll be able to still see me, but I'll just, on one knee was a 22-foot angel holding a sword on one knee, guarding me. Just God let me see with my eyes. And I laughed and laughed because I'm like, I wanted tins and whistles. I wanted like this, that, and the other. And you're like, no, I know what you need. You need not to be afraid so that you know you're not alone and you can write. Wow. And there was 22, just on one knee. I could see every muscle and sinew. I didn't see any wings. I did realize he was big. I think he was a he. I'm pretty sure it was. Just on one knee, just on guard in a 16-acre field by a lake with nobody there. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I slept like a baby after that. It's like, well, here's me. I'm afraid of people and everything and danger. And you haven't seen the guy behind me.
Oh, man. Yeah, no. I mean, you know, like, here we are. We're just single moms, you know, like out here trying to raise our kids. I mean, my whole point in doing this is for the children. You know, like really, it's for the grown-up children. It's for all the innocents, just the people, just the you know, like, because I see us all. I see all these little lights inside of us to where they need to get out. You know, like we're so covered up with so much crap. Even the trolls. You have to think of them. Think of what they're doing in their lifestyle. Think of why they're there. What happened? You know, like why they have to resort to that job. Because it's got to be a
I only get that thing about once a month. You know, a lot of the time I allow myself to get angry with them. But last night I hit that spot again where I thought, you know, what happened to you? What happened to you?
I know. Yeah.
So yeah.
It's got to be. I mean, you know, like what they have to go through. I mean, I think that, yeah, it's we all have demons to deal with.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing about dealing with the demons is that I had written something on my Facebook because there's a chapter in my book. It's called the Dragon's Breath, I think. I can't remember. It's chapter
I want somebody to get your book to manifest, because like we've got all these gifts and we get jammed up. Like I we've got all this, everybody's got all this, and we just need a marketer or a publisher or a distributor or
Oh,
something.
my book is published.
I want a copy. How can I get a copy?
Or just order it on Amazon. You can order on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or anything. I should have told you that.
I think you did. I'm such a dummy.
I haven't done the Audible one yet. I just have to finish the Audible.
Okay,
So
right.
the publisher's already out with the
Okay, so tell me the name again of the book.
It's Behind the Black.
Behind the Black. Okay, I promise I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
Oh, yeah, and don't worry about it. I can send you the Audible version. And so you can just listen to it if that's easier for you, because sometimes it's easier for me to read a book if it's Audible. I can just listen to it in the car.
Look how big the print is for me to read, and I still need my glasses.
Okay, I'll send you the Audible.
I can read.
If you just do a couple close friends. You just can't distribute it or anything, you know, until it gets. Yeah.
Okay, I misunderstood. Okay, sweetheart, I'm gonna try and. Is there anything else? Do you know enough that you need to know about Miles?
Miles. Yeah, no. I want to write a couple of things down about Miles because he's so elusive in a way. I mean, he doesn't talk very much about himself.
Well, he's done a few interviews on himself. He is quite shy.
Yeah.
He prefers to be behind the camera rather than in front of the camera.
Yeah, I guess I just haven't seen him. I've seen all of his interviews and I've seen his work, which is just impressive all by itself.
Yeah, like amongst 1,000 videos, there's probably 3 where he talks about himself. He's not so comfortable doing that. But he's just a maverick genius.
Okay.
He's just somebody that's not afraid to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
He's a visionary.
That's why I wanted to have Hugh, the horse. You know who? You know his name is who? Because of the.
I don't know what that means, but I love it.
It is the when I looked it up, I wanted a very strong, majestic sort of a, because he's the bringer of truth. Hugh is the bringer of truth, so he's riding in on a wave of truth.
Is that mythology?
No, it's just from my head.
Oh.
This is so good. Copy mythology 101. Okay.
So how do you know that? I read it in a book.
I'm a creator.
The thing he's proudest of looking back is his family let him do pirate radio from their house. Like, he comes from fairly, landed gentry kind of thing, and they just let him convert the tennis court to a satellite pirate mast to broadcast and stuff. He pushed the boundaries with broadcasting. You guys would love to connect because he has that science mind.
Yes.
Yeah, but he's also got that vulnerability. So when people say he's crazy and this, that, and the other, and he's talking about this and that, he's just ahead of his time all the time.
Yes.
He'll be saying something, and he's got evidence, and everybody's like, you're crazy, and 10 years later they're like, oh, wow, and it's like, a bit like David Icke, although he's compromised, but never mind. Well, I believe he's compromised, but, so many people, I mean, we're human, but never mind, I didn't mean to throw that in, but no, he's a visionary. He's a visionary, and he's not afraid to go where angels first tread. He's not afraid to go, and he's a thinker. He can't stop his mind. When you get in that zone and it's a symphony, he's like that, only more scientific. Yeah, he's more scientific, but I have a lot of time for him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And that, the more I think about it, the more that painting fits him perfect.
Yeah. So has he contacted you? Does he know that painting is his? And has he?
Oh, I wrote him a letter and just told him why I wanted him to have it.
And did he write back and say thank you so much or whatever? Yeah.
Because he gave me his email. I sent him
So I don't need to tend to that. So you're fine with him. You're fine with Christine.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to get in contact with them and get their addresses as well. And then just as an update, well, I'll update the Facebook page too when I just do this little, because I want to do a real short video so that I can keep people's attention. And then just, it's so hard to keep a short video, isn't it? Especially with all this information. But I'll try to keep it short and to the point. And then I'm going to, introduce the art and then, get into something to where I'm going to say that I'm, this is an ongoing project. So I will be continuing to donate art, as I see fit. I'm going to donate other places all over the place too, but it's as I see that you guys need another boost or need another whatever. And I'm hoping that a bunch of artists and a bunch of people will join in on this. And
I want to show you something as well. Sorry, I've interrupted you. I've got your focus.
Oh, it's okay. No.
I care about that. I just want to show you.
That's a Vermeer.
Yeah, the lace maker.
Yes!
I bought it in a junk shop.
What?
Yeah, I bought it in a junk shop for my daughter for Christmas, and she didn't like it. It's not the real Vermeer. If it was, it would be worth 28 million.
That's what I was going to say.
Isn't it a good copy?
Put it down a little bit. That's beautiful.
Isn't that an amazing copy?
It really is, yeah.
If it is a copy, the original, I contacted a curator and he said the original Vermeer is much smaller and it's in the Louvre in Paris.
Mm-hmm.
But Vermeer is known to have 28 missing paintings. Now that's actually got a signature on it, but I can't make it out. But the curator said to me, it looks to me like you've got a superb copy. I was going to put that and sell that as well, Like, I don't know what it's worth. Yeah. It could be worth $5,000. I don't know what it's worth. It is a superb. And sometimes there were students, and that was what they would do in their apprenticeship. They would just do a copy of a great, I don't know who the signature is. I just know it's oil on canvas. It's superb. Now I haven't treated it. Look, I didn't do that, but it's got some damage, but it's still amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I was going to put that in there as well and just see if anybody wants to bid on it, because I bought it for my daughter for Christmas and she didn't like it.
Yeah, I would give it a shot and just see. I mean, and we can encourage things like that too. I don't know how busy you want to get with things like that. If that's
I don't want to be swallowed up administrating it, but the truth is, by the 20th of April, I need to have something coming in. I have no income after the 20th of April.
Okay.
None. I won't die, and I won't go on the game.
I've been living on just about no income. You know what the really crazy? I had this commission, my very last commission, and it was a really cool one, actually, really cool. I'll show you the painting. This guy is so sweet. He's a very nice, good friend of mine. But I did this painting, 2 paintings for him. I don't know if you can see it. But it's his great car.
What is the car?
It's a 19. See, can you see her right there?
Oh, it's beautiful. Let me see the little girl. Hold on. Oh, wow. That is stunning.
It's a sunset and stuff. But at night, let me see if I can find my little...
Can you tell me the make of the car?
I don't know what that is. It's a yellow big car. See? Oh, yes, I'm a typical...
Do you know, I bought a used car once because I like the colour. I swear to God, I bought it because it was white.
Yeah.
Anyway, that is stunning. And that was a commission, so why is it with you?
Well, he's in Cabo right now, so I have to wait till he gets home and then I'll ship it to him. But, because he's all paid up and everything's good. But I took about a year to do it. And I, how do I put this? What I normally do is I'll give people a quote up front, or what I normally did. I'm not going to do this anymore for this reason. I don't want to make him. Well, it's happened so many times that it is what it is, and it's bygones be bygones. But I don't take it into account.
You don't take into account a year's work.
No, I think that it's going to take me a certain amount of time, and then my heart gets stuck in it, and then I put in 100 more hours or whatever it is, or 1,000 more hours over what I wanted to put in, or what I thought I was going to put in, and then I can't go back and charge them for that at all.
Yeah, that's why you put price on inspiration.
Oh yeah, it just sucks. So, I'm done. I'm done with commissions. No more.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Oh, plus I have plenty of my own ideas. I just have plenty of my own ideas. I want to do my own ideas.
Well, look, in future, I just realised this as we talk. Somebody's trying to get me to learn how to upload videos to Facebook because they get like 10-fold more exposure. But Facebook, you have a limit of 45 minutes, and we've gone over that. But that's okay. But next time, I'm going to set an alarm with anybody I talk to so that it's Facebook adaptable. I'm going to set an alarm for 40 minutes.
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't know it was 45 minutes.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm only learning this stuff. I am learning. I'm kicking and screaming. I am learning. I want to upload this. This isn't for everybody, but for some people, they love these things. Do you mind if I upload this?
Not at all. Not at all. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I like to post them too as just updates, and some people listen to the whole thing, some people don't. Yeah, it's all up to them.
That's fine. It's like we didn't do it for views or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
No, this is more of a this is what we're doing. I think that it's very important to be what do they call it? Transparent. Just transparent about everything.
Yeah. So, have you got enough information on Miles and Christine? You have, and you've got enough on me. Yes. I don't know how to categorise. And so just, look after yourself and do what you need to do. You've got my address.
Do I have your address?
Yeah, I sent it to you in Facebook, but
okay,
yeah, I sent it to you. And I've got a GoFund. I made this GoFundMe. I got so laughed at when I realised that by the summer my son that I'm carer for is going to be independent. I'm actually going to hand him over to my other son before that now. And I was going back to work. I made a GoFundMe and it says, "What is your target?" And I said €1 million. and people there's a whole website, and there's a huge amount of time they spend taking the piss out of me and sending me up and criticising me. But they're like, "Have you seen what she's done? She set up a charity with a target of $1 million." And I'm like, anybody can visualise how to make $1 million make a difference. I'm not going to go and put it in an underground bunker in big gold, and go to sleep at night counting it. I could easily spend $1 million. I could spend $5 million with integrity.
Yes,
so I'm gonna put that link in anyway, and so until we get this flowing. But I'm just asking you to get the collectors that have called you, any brokers or anything, start directing them. Even if they buy from where the art is now, you don't have to get your hands dirty. But we've got about a month to get some cash flowing.
Okay.
So that's not a burden on you, no more than what you said to your parents was a burden on them. The cash might flow. You're not my provider, God is.
Right.
So I'm just saying, let's do everything we can to make sure there's no blockages.
Yes.
I mean, there's money coming from other sources, but I think it's true to say that we can be having a vision and there's nothing in the fridge for dinner. I mean, it's not that bad, but we have to be practical as well. So I think there is a GoFundMe, that people can give and just say, here's the petty cash, or here's some cash flow, or here's the rent, or here's the food. People can just sow into this, not as a burden, but if somebody says, look, I can't get out on the front line, but I could put something, I could give something, then I just want people to know that until the art starts selling and flowing and things start, provision starts manifesting, there is a GoFundMe where people can just contribute. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's perfect because, yeah, I believe that once I mean, you know, like, I can't help myself. If I were making any amount, what?
It hurts me when people, including myself, it hurts me when people go to sleep at night with lack. It hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be like that. There's enough money, there's enough food, there's enough resources. It just hurts me that we don't, as a race, we don't share. The vast majority, we don't share.
Oh yeah, I have a friend right now that is just breaking my heart. You know, like he was adopted. He's got a brain tumor right now. He's been given a certain amount of time to live, and he's homeless. He's living in his van with a snake and a couple of dogs. No one will even let him plug into their. No one in his family. It just is.
It's not right.
I'm having him over here. I'm gonna give him a whole bunch of food. I'm gonna I'm gonna help him out as much as I possibly can. I wish I could. You know, I'm living in Jack's house, so he's had enough people through here that he doesn't. You know, like I've got to protect him, and I've got to protect Angela. Not saying that my friend is dangerous. He's not at all, but you know, I can't just invite everybody over here to live. I want to, but I can't.
I know. It's one starfish at a time. It's like the little boy on the beach says, "How can I save all the starfish?" One starfish at a time. You know, I just want to say, I can't help this. In the early church, like anybody that professes to be a Christian and they're driving a Rolls Royce and sending $20 to an orphanage, you know, in the early church.
Oh my gosh, that just blows my freaking mind.
Yeah, in the early church, they all had everything in common. They all sold what they didn't need and shared. And that was just a natural way to live. So, you know, I'm like you. I would give the shirt off my back, literally. You know,
yeah.
But
oh yeah, if money comes in, it's going right back out.
I know.
I have been a closet giver all my life. That's all I've done. And you know, like, it's just, now I can finally do it in the open and,
not feel guilty.
Isn't that funny? Coming out of the closet.
It's like, my name's Angie and I'm generous. Oh, we'll soon beat that out of you. How long have you been generous?
Yesterday, I had such a temptation to give it all away again. Oh!
No, but seriously.
We're going to be Givers Anonymous as well.
No, but we have to have wisdom, because look at Jack. I mean, Jack's got a giving heart, but
yeah.
you could end up ripped off. You can end up.
You draw a line. You just say, no, you're not taking that. You know, like, I can't give all my art away. I want to keep some. Damn it. I love my art.
Of course you do.
So, you know, I'm going to give some to my family. I'm going to spread it out all over. But I know that I've got a gift and I can help people right now with it. Okay. So I'm going to do it.
Me too. Like, that's all anybody can do. What can you do? Okay, do it and share.
Yeah. Yeah, I can make a living as a caretaker. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's all I'm doing. If other people think of ways that they can do something that can do this, oh my gosh, the rewards are so freaking great. Just the feeling that I get and knowing that I can be a part of something so amazing.
It's more blessed to give than receive. The Amish, you know, the old Amish way, if somebody needs a house built, that's just what everybody does. They go and build the house.
Heck yeah. Yeah. And I think that's just the attitude we have to take.
All right, if there's nothing else, I'll wait with excitement to see your professional video.
Oh, it's not going to be professional.
your
balls, baby.
And your professional, what was the other professional thing? Oh, yeah, your little blurb. And then I'll upload this as well, and we'll just have a nice day.
Oh, you have a fantastic day yourself out
Sorry
there.
I kept you up so long. Are you going to get some sleep, or have you got to do the school run?
You know what? I think we've got my second class already started, and they record it, so I can do whatever I want. Now I'm kind of amped. I'm gonna go scare Jack out of bed. I do that because he's right upstairs, so I can put these little heads up in his window and go and turn them on, you know, like, you know, like this. I gotta show you this one. So, real quick. You can cut the ending off. Look at this, what I do.
No, I don't do cutting. I don't do editing.
Look, I take this little guy up in this window. Right there in the window. Okay, we'll stop him. But anyway, I just stick that up in his window, and then he scares really easy. So
why would you do that to a 75-year-old man?
Because he loves it. He starts laughing. He'll just start laughing. Oh, come on in, you know. And it just makes him younger.
Okay.
I do this to people.
So do you have to do the school run in a couple of hours?
I'll catch up with it. I'll catch up with him. I'm going to get on there and say hello, and then I'll catch up with the rest of the class later on.
Sorry. Yeah, next time we'll be more disciplined. I'll set an alarm. I'm going to improve. I am. Okay, love you.
Oh, I love you too. Okay.
Bye. God bless.
Bye-bye.